Welcome to the next part of the MRV introduction. Last one was about unit tests and how to run them, and that you can even test UI, which even goes so far that you can automate the UI test, which is pretty cool. Now, let's get our hands dirty and do something. Let's do the MRV way. So how would you change something in the core of MRV? To do that, first you need to know where to look for your changes, of course. So let's say you want to change something that is related to Maya. Okay, so we look in MRV Maya. Good. MRV Maya now contains a few other subfolders. So what are we interested in? Automation? Forget it. It's not even contained in the source distribution, for example. It's just some in-development stuff. Cache is containing the database for the node wrapping and for basically for everything that makes MRV cool. It's in the cache. NT, node types. It contains the node types themselves. And UI, the UI package, contains all kinds of modules that wrap the Mel UI. Of course, UI is still Mel. There is no API for this. But here you have the wrap for the UI. And everything in the root of Maya is something that is very fundamental to Maya, like the referencing system, namespaces, scene, undo system. Well, the database is kind of special because it's a database for Maya-related things. But what we might want is to be a bit more, to change the core of the nodes, right? So I want to do something with the node. That's NT node type. And here we have plenty of modules, which definitely are interesting. Some of them contain node type implementation themselves. Some of them are used to create these node types. So what are we looking for? Let's go through them. Enum. Enum is a module that contains nodes and functionality that are related to animation. API patch is a very special module because MRV, when it comes up, it patches some existing and global API classes in a non-intrusive. It is intrusive somewhat, but it shouldn't interfere with other people's code because it's either an improvement, which makes it more Pythonic, or it's namespaced. So you don't hit it if you don't really know that you can hit it. Base is, as the name suggests, the base of the whole node wrapping system with the most fundamental nodes that Maya knows, like a DG node, a dependency, which is a dependency graph node, obviously, DAG nodes, transform node, and components as well, component types, and attribute types, data types. That's all in base. Geometry contains meshes and NURBs and curves and things like this. Iterator, contains iterators. Iterators are very interesting and hard to say as well. At least if you're German, so it's iterator, and these iterators are used to iterate to get nodes back from your scene. So if you're used to Mel, then you kind of say ls something and you get a filtered list of what you wanted, and it's like 100,000 nodes if it's a big scene. In Python it's different. You have iterators which just run over the internal data and return one node at a time according to your settings, basically, which is much more memory efficient and very, very, very fast. Persistent is a plugin, actually. Yes, this is a scripted plugin which is helping to allow your Python data to be persistent within the Maya scene. Yeah, now you have Python and all that, but if you were still stuck to using default data types that Maya uses, then it's kind of inconvenient, so persistence works around this, using basically Maya-fied pickle data that you provide. Set contains the set implementation of MRV. Sets are, very interesting topic. Can't dive into this right now. I'm full of hate and full of love when talking about this. Storage is an interface for the persistence node. So the persistence plugin just provides a very basic implementation, which is supposed to be as fast as possible, whereas the storage module provides the MRV interface for this. So you see there's even a separation between the interface and the implementation, which is pretty cool design-wise and really helps others to reuse what MRV provides, because it's very modular. It's very, very modular. The type module contains the engine that does the node wrapping. I can't dive into this either, but you usually don't change this unless you really know what you are doing. So I even don't change that. And the utility module contains a few utilities that, well, don't fit, that can be used by all modules that you see on this level. So this is how that system basically works. The same names like base and util, you will find them everywhere. It's, you know, the kind of a basic naming scheme that I use for all the packages. And yeah, we want to get our fingers dirty. I didn't forget about that. So I would like to change the dependency node. And as it's a very fundamental implementation, we have it here. So even though many node types are automatically wrapped and automatically created by logic that is rooted in the type or type module, you can of course weave in your own code, which is important because at some point you have to hand implement certain things. You can't let the computer do everything. This doesn't work. So it's not an edit method that I'm going to add here. I'm going to, I just add a query method, general query. And it's supposed to, well, what it's supposed to do, it's one of these stupid things. I only have 2 minutes left, so yeah, it's exactly one of these things that you know from your programming lessons. So let's use nice restructured text formatting here, because that's the default that is used all over MRV. And now we return a foo string. So this is really all it does. But we don't know whether it works. It never ran that code, and we could put in a typo here, and suddenly we have an error within the core of MRV, which is bad, which is pretty damn bad. So something like this is always accompanied by a test. So let's follow down the track of packages. It follows the same scheme. We are in Maya NT base, so we wanted to put our tests into test base, right? Okay, so now if you know how this is set up, you could possibly find a good spot to put yourself in. Sometimes, you know, it's just easiest to create your own test case, which is something that I do here. It's just going to be a very small one. Test foo. So this is a very simple test case. Sometimes they're longer or more complex, or rely on rely on stuff that ran before. So let's quickly test it. Let's get a shared node. First of all, do I have it imported right here? Can I use this? MRV my NT. No, I can't use node. I have to use NT node. So I'm wrapping a node for me, which is a transform, but a transform is also a dependency node. So now I can say assert p, what was it, foo is foo. Actually this. Good. So let's run this quickly. Test bin tmrv, and then we want to have test Maya nt test base. Just run everything. And we will continue and see what it does in the next video.